United States President Donald Trump on the Monday had started arranging a peace summit between the Ukraine Vladimir Zelensky and the Russia's Vladimir Putin after intensive talks with the Zelensky and the European leaders at the White House. Trump also said that he had spoken by phone with the Putin, whom he met in the Alaska last week following a very good meeting with the European and the Ukrainian president in the White House. The President Putin and he began the arrangements for a meeting at the location to be determined later between the President Putin and the President Zelensky, Trump said on his Truth social media platform. Also, Trump, who is 79-year-old, said that he himself would then hold a three-way summit with the Ukrainian and the Russian leaders. Also, everyone is very happy about the possibility of the peace for the Russia-Ukraine, Trump wrote. Putin told Trump that he was ready to meet Zelensky, a source familiar with the talks told to the Millennium. The United States President also said that he had discussed security guarantees for Ukraine as part of a peace deal with Russia, with Europe taking the lead and coordinating with Washington. Trump said earlier that Putin had agreed to the Western security guarantees for Ukraine despite the Russian leader ruling out Kyiv's long-held dream of joining the NATO alliance. Guarantees for Ukraine, which guarantees would be provided by the various European countries with the coordination with the United States of America, Trump said on the Truth Social. Zelensky hails best meeting. The White House was the venue for the extraordinary and pointed meeting gathering Trump with the Zelensky plus the leaders of Britain, France, Germany, Italy, Finland, the European Commission and the NATO. Zelensky also met one-on-one in the Oval Office with Trump in their first encounter in the heart of the United States presidency since their acrimonious blow-up there in February. This time the atmosphere was far calmer than when Donald Trump and the Vice President J.D. Vance berated Zelensky in front of the TV cameras less than 6 months ago for not being grateful for the United States support. Trump even complimented Zelensky on his black jacket after the Ukrainian was criticized by the right-wing media because he failed to change his trademark. Also, the war leader's outfit for a suit during the February visit. Also, in a week or 2 weeks, we are going to know whether or not we are going to solve this, or is this horrible fighting going to continue, Donald Trump said as he opened the meeting. The presence of the European leaders, however, also underscored continuing nervousness about Donald Trump's pressure on Kyiv to make concessions to Moscow. Exchanges of territory. Donald Trump had pushed Ukraine ahead of the meeting to give up Crimea and also abandon its goal of joining NATO, both the key demands made by Putin. On Monday, they also need to discuss the possible exchanges of territory between Russia and Ukraine. The reports have said Putin was pushing for Ukraine to cede its western Donbas region, much of which is still partially in the Kyiv's hand, in exchange for freezing the front line elsewhere. The European nevertheless lined up to praise Donald Trump as they called for a lasting peace to end Russia's invasion. I'm really excited. Let's make the best out of today, the NATO chief Mark Rutte said as the United States president went around the table asking them to comment. The French President Emmanuel Macron, however, called for a separate four-way meeting, including the Europeans, to deal with the grinding conflict that is on their doorstep. The German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, while also contradicting Trump's call to go straight for a full peace deal instead of an immediate ceasefire, calling for a truce before any leaders' summit. He also sounded a note of caution after the talks, saying that the Ukraine must not be forced to give up any territory to Russia. Russian strikes overnight killed at least 7 people in Ukraine, including 2 children.